Hello, hello.
Hello.
What is up, Truman?
How's it going? Hi.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Infield Chatter, where we sit and talk crap about baseball and have fun and vibe out and make fun of Trumanation.
And Ethan.
And Ethan, I'm sure he's here. He's probably lurking somewhere.
Oh man.
Chat, how we sounding? Are we okay? Give us some ones in the chat if we sound all right, or if I've butchered the audio again.
Ones if we're chilling.
Ones if we're chilling. I see no ones.
Nice.
All right, we got one.
Nice.
Nice.
I trust Laddie with my life, so that's the only one I need to see.
I didn't change any settings from yesterday, so I think we should be good. I can hear
Beautiful.
you fine. I think you can hear me fine. I think we're
Yep.
all good. But yeah, man. So welcome back to the Daily Show. I think we're gonna do these Monday through Thursdays.
Yep.
Just talk about some cool baseball stuff. Trumanation, Dugout Bossman for those that are listening to the podcast. Well, let's jump right into it, man. We got some interesting stuff that happened yesterday as well as a little bit today. But let's talk about Aaron Judge. Dude is having
50 piece?
a monster year.
50 piece. I'm looking at my calendar and it still shows the month 8.
Jesus.
And he is at 50 bombs. Hello? That's
What?
crazy. I believe as of last night when he hit his 50th, he is like one off the pace of Maris for that single season Yankees record. So
Really?
he's right there, but I mean, shoot. August 30th, 50 bombs. That's unreal. I mean, especially because the season's going to go, I believe, like one series into October this year because of the lockout. So, I mean, we're still talking, what, like 35-ish games that he's got to hit, 10 more bombs, get to 60. That's insane.
That is pretty cool. What was Barry Bonds at this time of the year, I wonder, when Bonds broke the record?
Ooh. Let's see. Let me see if I can find that. That's a great question.
How
Let me
close
see.
was he?
What year was it that he hit his 73?
Oh man, you put me on the spot here.
Barry Bonds.
I don't know.
73 home run season. That was.
I don't like to count that, so I try to forget about it.
2001. 2001. Let's see.
It had to have been. I mean, he was on a monster pace. I mean, he was killing it all year long. So he has to be on a faster pace, right?
Oh, has to be. I mean, Judge isn't going to hit 23 more home runs this month. If he does, then he's going to be getting piss tested literally like one after every game.
He probably is right now, I bet.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Bonds?
What does it say?
At this point,
Bonds
had 61.
He had 61 at this
No,
point?
no. I'm
No.
sorry. Ignore me. I'm wrong.
In 2001, you said.
You know what? I'm gonna count these up quick. Bear with me. 1, 2, 3.
Need a calculator?
Probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in April.
Okay.
Then he had. Oh no, here we go. Okay. He had 11 in April. He had 17 in May. 11 more in June. Only 6 in July. Wow, shitter. 12 in August. Okay, so we got 12 plus 6, 18, plus 11, 29, plus 17. Oh, chat, this is where I'm really screwed. 29 plus 17.
Come on, do it, Truman.
29.
29 plays 17.
46. That's 46.
So he had
46 plus 11. Plus 11. So
okay, so 57.
57 on August 30th.
57. Judge has okay. And
that's unreal.
But
seven's a lot. That's a big difference.
But factor in where they play too, right? You got Aaron Judge plays in a Cracker Jack box, and you have Barry Bonds who played
in the Bay.
who
Yeah,
played in the Bay where the ball doesn't fly at all.
it doesn't fly. That's crazy. That's unreal.
Interesting.
How many home runs would have Barry Bonds had that year if he had that right field porch at Yankee Stadium?
my
If that was his
gosh.
home stadium, he would have hit 80.
You know, I mean, the ball. What is it down the line at Pac Bell Park? It's not very far actually down the right field line. It's just got the tall wall, but where it goes where it goes deep is right center field at Pac Bell Park.
Yeah, it's got the freaking triples alley.
Yeah.
Right field line.
So if Bonds pulls the ball down the right field line at Pac Bell, I would say it's probably the equivalent of Yankee Stadium, maybe a little bit further because the wall's a little higher. Plus, you factor in the fog layer because it's always foggy in the Bay, so you got a little bit of weather. But
let's see.
I bet it's not too different, but I'm talking like right down.
You got to have launch angle though in San Fran. It's 309 down the line in San Fran. Yankee Stadium, I believe, is just about the same.
207 or like 270.
270. 309 in San Fran. Yankee Stadium is actually 314 down the right field line.
Okay. And we got the 20-foot tall wall in Pac Bell.
Right.
You know, something else to think about too, though, is what about the steroids, right? Everybody knows Bonds was hopped up on steroids, so he was able to bounce back from injuries faster and stuff. But Aaron Judge, assuming he's doing it all clean, is he going to stay healthy for the remainder of the year to get close?
You can obviously, it's tough to predict something like that. I'm gonna go with yes, just because 30 games left. If he's got any little, someone's literally using like a lawnmower right outside my door. That like kind of scared me. Sounds like a chainsaw out there.
If there's somebody over your shoulder, I'll make sure to say
yeah,
something.
I was like, what's going on? But I would think that he would push through anything nagging that would have kept him out in years prior to chase said record, but also maybe not because it's an individual reward and the Yankees got a good shot to, go for a World Series this year. So it's hard to say.
Only got him playing center field now, right? Instead of right?
I think
last night. Yeah, he was playing center field last night.
I think they kind of move him around. I could be wrong because I know Hicks will play center sometimes. So,
where's Ethan at? Is Ethan in the chat, or any Yankee fans in the chat right now? Can confirm,
yeah, where does Hicks play?
I know I saw highlights from last night. I know Judge was definitely playing center field, which is a little bit more taxing there, right? But yeah, I don't know, man. I do you want to see him break it? Or are you traditional?
I think it'd be cool. Okay. I think stuff like that is cool. I think it'd be awesome to see him go out and, we haven't seen 60 plus since when? When's the last time we saw 60 plus bombs?
Well, back in, you had Bonds in 2001, right?
It is Bonds, right? I think Bonds is the most recent.
Bonds, and then, the thing that really kind of ruined all that shit for me was, I was in high school back when McGuire and Sosa were kind of chasing Maris, which that was so exciting. Steroid era baseball was so much fun to watch. Guys were hitting 590,000 foot home runs. Like it was electric.
They saved baseball.
It really did. I remember I was in high school. I was watching that, and I was an Oakland A's fan when I was little, so I kind of followed around not Barry Bonds, but I followed around Mark McGuire. Yeah. And damn, my camera just froze up. All right, well, I guess we'll just leave it like that. Maybe it'll pop back on. But anyway, one of the things I was going to say about kind of how it ruined it for me when I was a little kid. I guess I wasn't a little kid; I was in high school, but it happened more frequently. It seemed like you remember. So McGuire and Sosa, that was so electric. Like every time they came up to the plate, every damn news station, every broadcast on television tuned in. It was crazy, and they did so much celebration for it. The Maris family was there. Like it was cool. Kind of brought a tear to your eye when it all happened.
Yep.
And then it was like shortly after Bonds did it, and it almost seemed like nobody really cared because it like just happened. It was like 2 or 3 years later. Actually, not even that, right? Because when did McGuire break the record? Was it 98 or 99?
I think it was 2 to 3 years later if it was 01. Because it was I know it was like right at the end of the 90s.
Yeah, it was. I think it was 99. I think it was my senior year in high school. God, I just dated myself. I think in 1999, and then 2 years later, Bonds broke it, and it was just kind of like, we just saw that. Like, I think,
Which is interesting because you would think that people like it'd be fresh on their brain and they'd be all over it. So that's definitely interesting.
I think what makes
The,
it so exciting though is the fact that it hasn't been done in such a long time. That's
exactly.
what makes it so special. And then it happened 2 years later, and it was like, oh, okay, well, we just did this. The excitement was kind of over. It kind of
Well,
felt.
and the crazy thing about Judge is like even in the last 20 years since we last saw this, pitching has advanced so much. Um,
Yeah.
the analytics on the pitch side, you got everybody's constantly, obsessed with spin rate and they're using Rapsodos and velo has had massive jumps. The fact that Aaron Judge is doing it against the best pitching that we have ever seen in Major League Baseball history is just a spectacle in itself. So
Yeah, I don't think back then you didn't have the one inning specialist like the lefty
no,
on lefty that came in like.
no,
Yeah, so it's definitely impressive. Jesus. But Bond's at 57 at this time of the year. He's 7 ahead.
yeah, 7, and that's a big difference. I mean, Judge might only hit 7 this whole month.
Yeah.
He very well could. I mean, 7 home runs in a month is a good month, right? If you hit 7 home runs, if you hit 7 home runs April through September, then you're hitting darn near 40 home runs. So that's yeah.
Oh, there we go. Real Phillies in chat said McGuire hit 70 and 98.
And 98, okay.
That's right.
Okay.
I knew it was 98 or 99. Had to have been one of those 2 years. That was like my senior year of high school.
Right.
But yeah, it's fun to watch, man. And Judge, I mean, he's kind of a likable guy, so you kind of root for him. Where Bonds was kind of a dick, so I don't think anybody really rooted for Bonds to break the record.
Judge genuinely seems like a really good dude, so that helps.
Yeah.
But
we go on to the next topic.
Let's do it. The Angels are up for sale. They're up for sale. I know that Angels fans have been calling for Moreno or whatever his name is, his head for a long time. So I've been seeing a lot of excited Angels fans on Twitter, but I mean that organization has been a bit of a dumpster fire, for a while now. So it's something that I wish the Colorado Rockies would do. I wish their owner would sell, but yeah, I mean, I think you could argue that the Angels are maybe the most underachieving team in baseball this year. They got the 2 best players on planet Earth on their team, and they're awful in a bad division overall. So yeah, not a good look in 2022 for the old Angels. So
should we try to crowdfund something and
yes.
what
Yes.
do you think?
I'm yes, absolutely.
So
Absolutely. Try to buy the Angels.
there's how I've gone off the deep end and started thinking about the whole DAO,
Yep.
decentralized autonomous organizations and blockchain stuff. It's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that the Angels went up for sale was
What if the DAO purchased them?
somebody is going to start a DAO and is going to try to purchase the Angels. I know there's a group out there. There's a DAO that was created that was trying to buy the Broncos.
Really?
And I don't think they're going to get close just because of all the regulations and stuff that the NFL has. Like you have to follow certain guidelines, and I think it has to be like no more than 24 owners. Has to be 6 guys. This and it's like the good old boy network. I don't know what Major League Baseball has. Like you can't just go in and buy a team. You have to pass all the checks and balances from Major League Baseball in order to they just kind of write you off. But I guarantee you somebody out there is thinking about it right now, putting together a DAO, just a community of baseball enthusiasts that
Right.
want to own a team. Just like in basketball, I talked to you the other day. There's the Krause house.
Yep.
The famous Jerry Krause, the owner of the Bulls. Somebody, I don't know who exactly is the founder of that. It doesn't have anything to do with Krause, but it's a group of people that formed a DAO that are rallying together to purchase an NBA team. And they've already purchased and did a bunch of basketball courts. They purchased a Big 3 team called the Ball Hogs in that Ice Cube Big 3 team. League.
Yeah.
So I think it's just a matter of time before we hear some chatter about a new DAO, a new organization coming through to actually rally together and start the Angels.
Absolutely.
It could be done very, very, very quickly.
Yep.
And God, what could that look like if you're part of this community, part of this DAO, you basically have ownership rights of all of it. So everything goes up to vote. You would get to vote on certain things. Um, it's just it would be interesting, very very
Imagine
interesting.
voting like somebody puts in like a poll like, hey, do we want to re-sign Mike Trout? Imagine that, like stuff like that goes up for a vote, and like you have a hand in. Obviously, they already re-signed Mike Trout, so that's a bad example,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean.
Or do you want
Just
to
imagine.
relocate? Do you want to
Yeah,
relocate the
yeah,
Angels out of Anaheim
right.
because it's kind of a dump, and you've got the Padres and the Dodgers that kind of dominate down there?
Right.
What if you move the Angels to Vegas?
I think that's the A's.
I think so too. Actually, I think you're right. I think the A's eventually are going to end up in Vegas.
But I mean that is an example though. It's like anything like that could go up to a community vote, which is insane. You
Have you
know,
have you ever
just
been to
having
Angel
that sort
Stadium?
of say. No, I've never even been to California.
You haven't?
No, never been to Cali.
Oh Jesus! No wonder you haven't seen fish that big. I was sending you all those fish pictures, and you were like, "What the heck, man?" There's so
Yep.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've never been out there. I've been in Vegas when we went out there a couple months ago. Is the farthest west I've ever been.
Oh my gosh! All right, we got to get you out here. But so Angel Stadium it's super old. You can kind of tell it needs to be demoed. It's got like the old
Right,
fake rock, like everybody in it's kind of like your typical backyard scene in Los Angeles. Everybody's got the pool with the little fake waterfalls and the fake rocks.
right.
And so I think somebody needs to take the Angels. Somebody needs to buy the Angels organization and figure out how to get a new stadium going, move the team, do whatever. But it's going to take somebody, and I'll use an example. Joe Lacob, right, the guy that owns the Warriors.
Yep,
He's part of that Guggenheim group. You got
yep,
him. He also came out and said that he tried to purchase the A's, and he got shot down. Remember that?
yep.
So
I do remember that. Yep,
and
yep,
if I'm not mistaken, I think the Guggenheim Group owns the Dodgers as well. So
yep,
the Guggenheim
yep.
Group owns the Dodgers and the Warriors.
Them and Magic Johnson and
Yeah.
that whole group. Yeah,
So I could see Joe Lacob coming out of the woodworks and all of a sudden
yeah,
throwing his name in the hat as a potential owner of the Angels, as long as it doesn't conflict, I think, with his ownership of the Dodgers. Maybe I don't know. Um,
yeah. That yeah. I don't know how that works as far as like conflicting parties go.
yeah, but
Here's a question for you that's a little off topic, but we were kind of it was kind of alluded to earlier. Um, do you think that MLB will either relocate or expand here in the next few years? I mean, you got to relocate the A's, yeah?
I don't know. There's some stuff going on with the A's here locally where I think they finally were able to rezone that spot down by the water that they've been trying to do.
Okay.
So I think, and I don't know exactly what's happening here. I mean, just I talk here because it's in my backyard, really.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm in the I'm a little bit south of San Francisco, but the A's I think have had such a hard time relocating because the Giants own rights to a lot of the area around here.
Yeah, yeah.
And so there's only like a few locations that they were able to even explore. And I think zoning down by the water, I think was a big hurdle. Um, but I believe that just got voted on and unanimously approved to change the zoning. So I think that was a huge step in keeping the
Yeah,
A's in Oakland.
that's got to be massive. They got to throw a team in Vegas. They got to.
I would,
That that
would I
market is
mean,
too good for baseball.
would you like to see a new expansion team though?
I think if they expanded, they would have to expand with two teams. I think you'd have to go to 32 versus just 31. It would
Mhm.
just I think you have to have an even number.
Even with
But
the way,
but the only way that I think that would work is I think that you would have to eliminate divisions because you can't just have two divisions that that have an extra team. You know what I mean? I think that they would have to fully change everything to go to more of like an NBA and NHL style
Mhm.
playoff system where like you're separated into two, like an East and West or a North and South, whatever it may be, and the top 8 teams make the playoffs from each
Interesting.
league. So
You kind of look at it.
Or American League and National League and top 8 make the playoffs type thing.
It reminds me
I
of
don't think it would work with divisions for expanding.
that reminded me last year when the NL West had the Dodgers and the Giants. Both teams had their all-time greatest seasons
Yep.
and one of them didn't win the division. Like
Exactly.
there was a chance that
Exactly.
the Dodgers could have lost that wild card game,
Yeah.
had the second best record in baseball and knocked out of the playoffs. Like
Yeah. It's unreal.
it
And
could have been bad.
well, and I think baseball is going to go in that direction eventually. And the first step that they took that told me they were going to be doing that was when the scheduling stuff that they're starting next year, where now everybody plays everybody, the new
Mhm.
schedule format. That to me is the first step of them saying, "Hey, we might be going this direction with a new playoff format eventually." So I mean that is a gripe of mine about baseball, like you said. Like you got a 107 win team that could see their season end in one day. I mean that
Mhm.
there's something wrong with that in my opinion. So, but we can save that for another day. I know I got very off topic there, but
Oh. Well, okay, so let's go back to relocating. If you put a
yeah,
team in Vegas, what other city do you put that you say 32 teams, where do you put the
yeah.
second one?
I think you got to look at either Nashville slash a Carolina team, whether it be wherever the Panthers are or whatever. Portland. You could look at another Canadian team, bring the Expos back. Oh my.
Wow.
Um, but I think Nashville would make the most sense. Nashville and Vegas, to
Those
be
are the two
honest.
yeah, those are the two spots that came to the top of my head too.
Yeah.
Vegas is interesting though. I'm a Raider fan, unfortunately, and I mean I think we're looking good this year. This is a little off topic, different sport, but when the Raiders moved to Vegas, they don't have a home game anymore. You ever see the
Yeah.
crowd? Like it's because it's so cheap to fly to Vegas.
Yep.
You play any other team and you have a mixture of fans. You have Raider fans and you have whoever else you're playing because people
That's
just
very true.
come. So
That's
it's
very true.
yeah, it's like the Raiders no longer have home field advantage or have a home crowd.
It's tough though, because like on the flip side of that, the Golden Knights, when
Hmm.
they, the new hockey team, I know they've had a couple seasons now in Vegas, but their home games are electric, and that city is like hugely behind them. I've seen clips of like their pregame hype, and it is awesome.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It's interesting. Maybe it's the fact that the Golden Knights were a new expansion team and the Raiders got moved. I wonder if that has something to do with it. I don't know why it necessarily would, but
And it's
but yeah, you don't really get that black hole vibe that you had in Oakland with some of the craziest fans in the world. You know what I
yeah.
mean? In Vegas. So
You know what else I think probably has a factor to that too is football's 1 day a week. So you have so
yeah,
like people just they'll do anything to get to their team. Like even if they're traveling to a different state, it doesn't have to be Vegas. I mean, Vegas is just
right,
cheap to fly to because every state has a direct flight to Vegas. It seems like.
right,
But if there was baseball, you have multiple games, multiple days in a row. I bet you
right,
wouldn't have those people flying in like that. So it probably would be more like the hockey, I would think.
right, right. No,
But
I totally agree. But it's interesting. I don't know. I'm intrigued to see what's going to happen with the Angels and who puts in bids to buy them and what happens with them and what direction that organization decides to go. So,
awesome. Well, let's roll into the next topic with the fall circuit. MLB The Show just
mm,
announced today that they're doing their fall circuit. What's uh what's the prize on that? $25,000 prize,
yeah, $25,000.
and it's in a couple days.
The first qualifier, yes. It's in a few days. 4 days out.
What are your thoughts? You playing?
Uh no, I'm going to be out of town. I have prior plans. I can't just do something 4 days notice like that. I mean, I could if I didn't have prior plans, but it's mama's birthday, so we're taking her out on Saturday.
Uh
Um, I don't know. I, I, it's a little silly to me. I mean, I just don't see how hard it is to put out that tweet, like, uh, you know, like a weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago. Because I mean, I'm sure they knew that it was happening. I'm sure that these dates have been set for a while. Um,
Maybe they
so
didn't though. Maybe there was thoughts that they were going to cancel because of the way the game's playing right now. Like
maybe,
that was the first thing that came to my mind. I saw Twitter kind of erupt and everybody was kind of shitting on them that they announced it so late, but it's hard, man. I kind of feel for San Diego studios just
Yep.
because I have a couple friends that work there, and we keep forgetting that COVID kind of ravaged things for the last couple
Yeah.
of years, and
Yep.
everybody's been working remote. So can you imagine trying to develop a video game with
No.
people scattered
No.
all over the place, like not able to congregate at an office? That's got to be so
No.
difficult.
I can't even fathom that. I couldn't code the simplest thing in the world, so I can't even fathom that.
Yeah.
Um, I do totally feel for them, and I mean, you know me, and most of the people in chat know me that I am, very grateful for this game and what have you. But I definitely don't think it is a good step. I don't think it's a step in the right direction for the MLB The Show competitive scene that a lot of people are dying for. Like, Madden has the weekend leagues and whatever. I definitely I just kind of get the feeling that with the such short notice that um that competitive type tournaments or what have you are definitely not a priority as far as MLB The Show goes, which I mean that's fine. That's fine. It's take that as you may. Some people may be upset with that. Some people may like that the game is not going in a competitive direction, but that's just kind of what it tells me. Just that, the tweet was thrown up real quick, 4 days notice. It just tells me that, a competitive scene is not going to be something that's super prominent in the near future with MLB The Show. So,
I would like to see it work.
me too.
I
Me
think
too. Because all the other games have all the other sports games have a very, very, very cool esports scene and very competitive esports scene.
now are they that much bigger than the baseball side of things, or is it
Yeah,
just
I would
executed
say that
better?
would probably play into it a little bit. I would say that would definitely play into it a tad. Sorry,
Okay.
chat. I'm gonna blow my nose quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I wonder. I mean, we ran a couple of the MLB The Show tournaments, and we've done a bunch. We've done the DCCL, the league, and the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to these big qualifiers and circuits and stuff like that, especially the tournaments, I should say, and like the creativity behind it, because that was one of the things that we did. I thought very well was we got really creative with the week builds and
Yep.
rules and stuff
Yep.
like that. San Diego studios can't do that. When you're
Yeah.
when you're a video game like that, like you're kind of limited to what it is that you can do in house, and
Oh yeah.
you have to really rely on third party companies to help kind of innovate and create on top of your platform. So
Well, yeah. No, you're exactly right.
I feel
Go
like
ahead.
I feel like the competitive scene is going to have to be done by somebody else. I I think I think San Diego Studios needs to focus on the gameplay, the game
Yes.
mechanics, the
Yes.
content,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and I think they need to leave it to a third party company to jump in um, and try to run a comp scene. I mean, there's only so much you can do, and right now it's hard to find good help. It's hard to find
Right.
help at all, right? I mean, the society's changing, the way everybody's working is starting to change,
Right.
and that's why I say I kind of feel for San Diego Studios, man. Like they've got
Right.
to be in a tough spot. They've got a
Yeah.
lot on their
Yeah.
plate, a lot going on with the game mechanics and stuff. And at the end of the day, look, they can't come out and say, "Hey guys, our game sucks this year. We're sorry." Like
Yep.
you can't
Yep.
do that. So who knows what kind of internal stuff they've got going on? Lack of resources, lack of help. I'm sure they're doing the best they can. I'm assuming
Yeah.
that they don't want their game to fail.
No.
Um, but but yeah, there's probably so much stuff going on behind the scenes. I saw that tweet come out and I
Yep.
was like, okay, 4 days. I'm like, wow, that's pretty quick. But um, I know that one of the gals that used to work there, I don't think she's no longer there running the esports
Yep.
scene. Um,
Laddie's talking about that right there. He said, if I'm not mistaken, Leah was the one running the online tourney/comp for SDS, and she isn't there anymore. So this may be by committee or a new person, hence the short notice,
yeah, that's a
which is
very good
very,
point.
very
Hmm.
viable, very possible.
Yeah,
Um,
there's just so many things, man, that like I've been watching from afar. I mean, you and I talk about this off stream,
yep,
but
yep, yep,
there's so much negativity right now towards the game,
yep.
and I get it. Like you can be frustrated with the game. People want it to do good, but unless you have the proper perspective on things or the full
Yep.
perspective, it's really hard. I don't want to say it's really hard to say anything because everybody should be able to voice their opinion.
Right.
I just think if you don't have
You
the
never
full
know the full
perspective,
story though.
yeah.
That's what makes it tough. Like we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. I think the one viable gripe, to be honest though, is just I do think their communication's a little crummy. I think that's the only thing. Not that they owe us any communication.
Mhm.
But I do think that they could just be a tad better of expressing either said issues or even just,
Mhm.
and maybe you're right. Maybe they didn't think until today that they were doing the another, tournament, which in that case, fair. They put their
Mhm.
tweet out as soon as possible, right?
Mhm.
But
Or everybody could like their entire staff could be scrambling right now trying to put together a hitting patch. Like
yeah,
who
you're
knows,
right.
right? And
Yeah, you
they're
never know.
all hands on deck. Come over. We need your help with this, and this. Like putting out a tweet can wait. The hitting patch is
Yep.
more important. Like we just nobody really has a glimpse behind the scenes, and I
Right.
think we all need to think about that when we're quick to criticize or shit on a game. Somebody had an analogy the other day that kind of this is completely different, but um, if I told you that I'd give you $100,000 if you jumped out of an airplane without a parachute, would you take it?
No.
But what if afterwards? What if I told you the plane never took off and it was on the tarmac still? Would you jump out now?
Yes.
So it's all about perspective,
Right.
right? Like, and I don't think any of us have the proper perspective to really gripe or complain. I think it just comes off too much as complaining. Like there's constructive criticism and then there's complaining. I think constructive
Right.
criticism is offering a solution, but if people don't have a solution, it's just all it is complaining.
Right.
And
Right.
I think we all need to be a little bit more empathetic to what's possibly going on behind the scenes. And at the end of the day, it's a company. They like sure they could communicate better, but they don't have to.
They
It's
don't have to. They don't. I mean, they don't owe us that at the end of the
yeah.
day.
At the end of the day, it's a video game, right? And they're trying
Yep.
to do their best to make it the best they can for the casual player, and sprinkling in some competitive stuff here and there. But yeah, there could just be so much going on behind the scenes. We have to have a little bit of empathy for them. I
Yep.
kind of feel for them.
Yep. Yep.
But
Well, very well said.
moving on, I guess. I'll take this one because I know this one's going to be
Yep.
like, what the
This
hell?
is all you.
So NFTs. I'm going to throw a crazy scenario out there. So I know everybody's talking about like this. Let's use MLB The Show for instance. NFTs in video games. What if there was a limited number of Mike Trout cards? Right. We all know Mike Trout's kind of the holy grail. What if you opened a pack and you actually got an NFT and you were able to sell that on a marketplace for real money? What if you could open packs and there was limited quantity of players and they were actually worth like not just stubs, but let's say stubs were actually a real currency? Could or is there some crazy world where all the cards in MLB The Show end up being NFTs, and if you want the best cards, you can either purchase them or you can purchase packs and open them just like you can in the game, but it would create a whole ecosystem around flipping. What do you think?
My
It's just crazy
rebuttal to
talk.
that, my rebuttal to that would be, wouldn't there be like, wouldn't too much of the consumer of said video game be young kids that would have zero clue about any of that, nor have a bank account, credit card, et cetera, et cetera?
So you kind of referring to the whole like pay to
Well,
win?
that's just my that is just me asking a question because I don't know anything about NFTs. I don't know anything about NFTs. I'm
So
just saying like the aspect of it that you were saying like, um, you know, you could pull an NFT out of a pack in MLB The Show and sell it for real currency. What wouldn't there just be a gray area in there for again like kids that are super young playing the video game?
well, let's break this down. I guess these are like the fun conversations, the creativity I like to have. But let's use you and your card binder in the game, right? So
Yeah.
you grind the game a lot. You play it a
Yep.
lot. You unlock all the cards by doing all these missions and the extreme moments and all that. What if you can take that Robbie Cano that you just unlocked just by
Yep.
purely playing and grinding the game? You could take that and sell that in the marketplace and actually transfer that NFT to, let's say, somebody like me. I don't have the time to grind the game, but I want that Robbie Cano card. You then list it on the marketplace. I then buy it from you with real currency. It's transferred to your wallet. The card gets transferred to me, and now I play with it. So
Yeah.
the younger kids, if they want the card, just play more. You still have the ability to unlock cards by
So
grinding the
it's just
game.
an additional like an additional thing within the game, like or an additional
Mhm.
option
Think
of
think about it this
yeah.
way: people that play the game more are now going to be rewarded with actual pay because now you can grind the game, unlock cards, and sell them for real currency.
Do you think that there would be any people like like the top 50 shitheads that would
Mhm.
find a way to somehow manipulate that?
Um, how could you manipulate though? So
I don't know. Again, this is me just asking questions, covering every base because again, I don't know shit about NFTs. So
I guess the way that I would think about it, getting around fraud, is like I know there's people that can boost and they can, yeah, they can unlock cards faster and stuff. So the devs would have to do something to prevent people from boosting going 12 and 0 and doing that, going 12 and 0 without throwing a pitch, early quits, all that good stuff, all the different types of hacks. Um, the devs would have to figure something out like that. But I can't think that there isn't a future where cards become an NFT and the game is rewarding people that play it more because I'm able to grind the game, unlock a certain card or unlock packs, pull a rare card, sell it for real money, and now somebody like Trumanation can play and make 50, 60, 100 grand a year in real money by just playing the game more and flipping cards for real money. And then
damn, I would have to actually learn how to flip cards. Shit.
you'd have to learn how to base run.
Oh.
But but no, it's a very interesting idea. I know a lot of people are always quick to shit on NFTs, and I think a lot of it's because they don't really understand it.
Uh-huh.
I think people are just thinking about pixelated crypto punks and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm gonna call it right now. I'm gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna say the future is gonna be all the cards are gonna be actual NFTs. I can't see it not happening. So now, like, let's say you unlock the Mike Trout, it's worth X number of dollars in real currency. You then sell that to me because I don't want to play the game to unlock the Mike Trout, but there's only a limited amount. So if you pull a really rare card, and the only way you can pull it is by doing X, Y, and Z, and there's maybe only 10 or 15 of those cards available, I think it creates a whole ecosystem of real money around it. And San Diego studios could reap the benefits too because people are going to play their game more. They're going to be making money on every NFT sale. So when you create an NFT, like let's say San Diego Studios creates the NFT for the Mike Trout card. They mint it into the blockchain, and this is all kind of geek talk, right? And a lot of the little details we don't really need to get too much into it. But when you create an NFT, whoever creates it can put a royalty on it. So every time that Mike Trout card is sold in the free market, San Diego Studios will receive a percentage of that profit every single time it's transferred. So it could be a huge revenue generator for San Diego Studios. It creates an ecosystem around flipping cards and real money behind the game. It also creates a collectability standpoint, and I think it's the future. You look at Doctor Disrespect is doing that right now with his new game. It's all going to be NFT based. You're going to start to see a lot more of the video games, I think, switch over to NFTs. Did you like?
If MLB The Show was like that, I wouldn't even play. I'd just flip cards all day. Be like, oh, I'd play 0 ranked season games a year. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna make money on this. That's
Yeah.
all I would do.
Well, like Laddie's saying in the chat right now, right? You got a guy like Ants who's really, really good at flipping cards. I mean, he could
Yeah.
he could make a full-on career out of it. Like
Yep.
there's games out there, Axie Infinity and a couple of these other blockchain games. The more you play, they reward you for it and they send you things and they send you NFTs and then you can take that NFT and flip it for real money. So these guys are making a hefty living by being paid from the actual game itself. That's not even including the streaming, the content, and everything else that you guys monetize, but different revenue stream. It could be very interesting. I mean,
No, that's definitely interesting.
I know they're having a
That's
hard time
wild.
with the gameplay itself. So, I mean, I'm assuming, a hitting patch is going to come before an NFT, right? But,
Right.
but it's an interesting conversation to have, I think. Kind of keep, being open-minded and not kind of shitting on NFTs because we don't understand them, but just kind of embracing what is going to possibly happen in the future.
Right. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I'm intrigued to see and see how far down the road that could be. So,
Mhm. Well, I guess enough of the NFT talk. I don't want to bore people. Honestly, I could probably do a whole show by myself about
yeah,
NFTs and blockchain.
you're
And
talking about NFTs for hours.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what plays out there. I'm fascinated with that stuff. It's really
Right.
intriguing to me. But did you see the Blue Jays stuff that came out
What
today?
is going on with you guys at baseball games?
Oh my god!
Have some decency. What are we doing, Oakland and Toronto?
Everybody's trying to go
What are we
viral.
doing?
Everybody's trying to go viral, man.
What are we doing? People are gonna start doing that everywhere now. That's gonna be like a thing.
It really
People are
is.
gonna be like, hey, you want to go bang it at Coors? You want to
It's-
go bang it Wrigley? Like, that's gonna be a thing now. People are gonna like challenge themselves to like do this now.
It's gonna be like the Tide Pods thing where all these dumbasses
Yes.
were eating Tide Pods. It's gonna be people
Yeah.
humping at baseball games.
I forgot about the Tide Pods. Oh man.
So
Oh
I think that was at yesterday's game, right? I saw
yeah,
it broke
yesterday
today.
night. Yeah.
And I don't think there was a very good video of it, so I'm a little skeptical that it even
No,
really
it was
happened.
the video was the security guard like escorting the two out, the male and the female.
Oh man. Well, remember I told you about this the other day. I think it was like 10 years ago. Somebody got caught humping at a game in the upper deck, and I can't
Yeah.
remember if it was at like I think it was maybe in St. Louis or somewhere.
Yep. Yep.
It was a long, long time, and they were like fully going at it, and I was like, "Holy shit, man! No shame."
It's like, man, y'all, yeah, no shame. Just watch the game.
It's going to become
Watch
a
the game.
TikTok. You're going to see a trending hashtag on TikTok kind of start to go
This
viral
is the
for
new
this.
running on the field naked thing to do. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's
That is very
watch
true.
the game. What are y'all doing up there in Canada? What are y'all doing?
Well,
Watch
and
the game.
in Oakland, there's nobody around, right? So the entire upper deck is like,
Yeah, at least the A's don't have fans.
yeah. But that makes it even worse. Like you stand out like a sore thumb
True.
because you're the only one in the upper deck. Like everybody's looking at you.
Yep. No, totally.
Yeah. Paint Monster
But,
says, yeah, it was in St. It was in St. Louis, wasn't it? It was like in the upper deck at St. Louis.
Paint.
Yeah, girl was like just
Oh,
straight
man.
going reverse cowboy on a guy sitting in his chair.
Gosh.
They were at least
dang.
they were both watching the game.
Yeah, true. Yeah, at least they were watching the game. That's fair.
The one in
Oh
Oakland and
my
the one
gosh.
the one at the Blue Jays. I guess the girl wasn't watching the game, but
You guys are wild, man. Watch the game. Leave the game early if you have to. If you just cannot control it to that extent, leave the game early.
what else on your mind, Truman?
Ooh, not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I know. And we could honestly make a topic out of this tomorrow. Somebody said above here. I saw the real Philly said, "How about Albert Pujols? Does he hit 700?" You know what? Stay tuned.
Oh.
I think that'd be a great topic for tomorrow. To be honest,
Yeah,
I think that would. I think that I don't want to spoil that one. I think that could be a stellar one to talk about. You know,
yeah. I'm gonna write that
in
down right now.
itself. Yeah.
We'll go over that tomorrow. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit, but I think it's gonna happen.
I didn't think. You know what? I'm not even gonna say my. I don't want to spoil it. If we're talking about it tomorrow, I'm not gonna spoil it. But I will say I do have a hot take / conspiracy theory about it that I'll save for tomorrow. But I will say I think it's. I will say I'll save my conspiracy for tomorrow. But I do think it's gonna happen now. I did not at the All-Star break. I do think it's gonna happen. But I'll save my conspiracy.
Hey, look who joined the party.
Oh my gosh. Hey Ethan, what do you think about Blue Jays fans fucking at the game?
We gotta ask him about the Aaron Judge thing. He wasn't here for the beginning.
Oh yeah.
W. Oh, jeez. Ethan would be that guy. He's going to be the one to start the hashtag trend on TikTok. Watch.
Yeah, right. Ethan would have to find a female first.
He'll fly to Toronto. We all know that.
Too bad they don't have a team in Alberta, right? Ethan.
Poor guy just comes in and gets shit on every time he comes in.
Barry Bonds had 57 home runs. 57. Barry Bonds had 57 home runs at this point. That Judge has 50. We were just unreal. I still can't believe that. That's the one thing that blew my mind.
Does Judge break the record? Does Judge do it, Ethan?
Does Judge break the record? Does Maris just...
He plays at a Cracker Jack box in New York, so he's got a good chance. But I
don't think about the record.
What did we ask him about? We were trying to ask him in the chat earlier.
No, he's not gonna break 73 home runs. You think he's gonna hit 23 home runs this month? Get the fuck out of here.
No,
I'm talking about Maris, not Bond. Nobody's breaking Bonds' record ever. Sorry again, I know this is off topic. I think that record is gonna stand for the rest of time. Pitchers are only gonna get better and better and better and better. Mm-hmm. They already have a massive advantage over hitters. I don't think 73 home runs is ever getting touched. I think that record is about as unbreakable as Ripken's consecutive games, to be honest.
Yeah, true. I think I agree there. No, we were going to ask Ethan, where does Judge, is Judge playing center field primarily now? I know last night he was.
Oh yeah, that is what we were going to ask him. Yeah, is Judge still in center?
Is he going to stay? Is he going to stay healthy for the remainder of the season playing center field, or do you throw his ass in right field so he doesn't have to move as much?
You can just dog it in center. You can just dog it. Just kidding.
Well, it kind of does anyway, right?
Oh no, I see him making plays more often than not out there. I see him, they always say like, he robbed a home run, but literally for him, it's just like a 2-inch vertical because he stood,
he stood there and just reached up. Well,
I hope the media doesn't make a mockery of themselves saying that the record is 61. I mean, that's a big deal though. The Yankee record is a big deal, I will say. I mean, arguably the team with the richest history in baseball. I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, you got Babe Ruth, you got DiMaggio, Mantle, Gehrig, Maris, Jackson, Jeter, A-Rod. Like, I mean, the list goes on and on. You get like, I think the Yankee record is a big deal. I really do. So that is a big deal.
You're gonna see a lot of people come out of the woodworks, though. A lot of the writers and stuff, and kind of shitting on Bonds and kind of discrediting the record. Like, what is the real record? And I think that whole Bonds thing, it's all gonna come back. It's all gonna come back.
Over it, son of a bitch. You still gotta hit fucking Eric Gagne throwing 102 and bullpen changes. Get the fuck out of here.
Nasty. Well,
gosh damn.
I think we're gonna wrap up for today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. I think we're try to do this every day at noon Pacific time. What is it your time? You're 1 hour.
Yeah,
ahead?
one for me, 12 for you. And like I said, if you're still here, Phillies, we see you talking about earlier the Pujols. We'll talk about that tomorrow. That'll be one of our topics. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, each day we'll do this Monday through Thursday and have about 4 or 5 topics a day that we'll cover. Yep. And we'll make sure to talk about that one tomorrow for sure. Try to keep the episodes about an hour long, little shade of an hour. And yeah, man, that was fun. Thanks for listening.
Fun as always.
Everybody tune in. Make sure to follow everybody on the socials.
I
have no social media following, so maybe go drop me a like and
go show Bossman some love.
I'll tell you a little bit about NFTs. bore the hell out of everybody, but Truman, appreciate you, man. Well,
thank you. Can't wait to get after it again tomorrow. And shout out Blue Jays and A's fans.
Keep having fun at the stadium.
All right,
we'll see you guys tomorrow.
See you guys.